I was brought in to do tell us again about when you knocked over the Space Needle, and so they replayed a little bit of that bit when we did that prank, and then they replayed the apology the week later that I did, and I just looked at myself there on the screen, and I went, who gave a show? Look at this little, look at this guy.
Were you embarrassed to see an old picture of yourself?
I was not embarrassed at all. I was stunned I looked like a 12-year-old, and like in my dad's suit. And I was, who in their right mind gave a show to this, how did that happen? And
you've done,
amazing.
You've done big-time television. You've done everything.
Yeah, big time television.
Big, when I got here, you guys were bigger than Saturday Night Live to me.
Well, we coincided, and Pat, correct me. I think one of the things that
and I will correct you, but go ahead.
There was this really weird interlude in SNL when everybody was predicting that it was going to go off the air.
That's when you were better than it? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
we were better than it when it really sucked.
When it hit bottom, we were above.
Well, what happened is they pushed SNL back a half an hour for a lot of reasons that the Sunday at 6 o'clock version of Almost Live wasn't going well. And, let's try it in this version. And they pushed SNL back a half an hour, and that was right when it started to really tank. The show was really tanking, if you remember that time where it was just...
There was a time, although the predictions of SNL's demise seem to come every 4 or 5 years when the cast changes dramatically. Everyone goes, well, that's it.
Absolutely.
And then they gel because the genius of SNL is, what's his name? The guy who... Lorne Michaels, who is a great coach. Like the coach of the Lakers was.
I don't know that much about it, but I think he shows up occasionally. I think
you think he's like a loser, doesn't do much.
No, I think I don't think they'll ever cancel that.
Is this why you've never been on Saturday Night Live?
It's a cash cow.
Yeah.
They'll never cancel it. I don't care. Its ratings are always where they always are. It doesn't matter that people watch it without criticism or thought. They just watch it.
People like topical comedy. I mean, when it's not a rerun, I make a point to watch it. And the only thing people like better than topical comedy is topical local comedy, which is what you guys specialize in.
We do?
Yeah.
We do.
That's a good idea.
On that. And I was wondering,
write that down.
You've helped put places like Ballard and Kent and Bremerton on the map. I mean,
they were already on the map.
Well, but
talked about
you
it.
gave us such an awareness of these communities. Did you ever get a key or anything, John, from any of these fine places?
Yeah, actually, I have gotten a few keys.
I bet you have. Yeah,
I have. I've gotten Ballard, Renton. They've given me keys or made me official residents and things like that over the years. Yes, that has.
Which is like knighthood for Ballard, right?
Yes.
The key to the city. It's like
I got a credit card which works just as well as a key.
Yeah.
You got an honorary doctorate from Kent Community College, didn't you?
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
So on the 206, new episodes start this Saturday night, right after Saturday Night Live. That's the only part we know is correct, so I'll stick with that.
Right.
What are you doing on the 206?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that has changed, since Almost Live's been on the air. There's been a lot of weird cultural shifts. It's, gay marriage is legal. Pot. And just recently,
sign language. I use sign language there. Yeah.
No, and it's and recently, a whole bunch of stuff has changed in the city.
Our area, which was already very liberal and forward thinking, is now
right. I mean, essentially, I was asked to host the 50th anniversary of the Century 21, the big fair, and I was I'm 57. I was 7 years old when, and I remember it really clearly. And there was jetpacks and flying cars, and this is the future. And I got there to host it, and there's no jetpacks, there's no flying car, and the message was like, ride your bike. That's what the future came.
Exactly what you were doing.
Yeah, and I had a bike when I was 7. Right, I had a bike, and it got me thinking that at a certain point, I think you could run a bike as the mayor of Seattle. We're going to have an election soon.
The bike would beat a real person.
It would beat.
We're getting 500 bikes laying around. Right. Soon we got new bikes coming in.
Bike. Is it okay if Amazon builds another building? That go ahead. Ding ding.
Yeah.
Yes, Mike says yes. Mike says yes.
And you spin the wheel, and the spokes with the baseball card.
Mike, is it okay if we rip down all the? Can we scrape everything of historical significance off Ballard and build a bunch of condos? Mike says yes. Mike says yes. So we're doing stuff like that.
So, yeah, and you know what? The condoization that has occurred in these last couple of decades. Spike, that was a big thing for Spike, is they were not only tearing down old buildings, but they were also looking for little spots where little, green things, blackberries used to grow, and they were basically carving out anything they could and putting multi-family dwellings.
Sell my backyard if I wanted to. I could become a land baron.
And they were selling them to people for negative amortization mortgages that were going to collapse.
Absolutely.
Yep. You watched all that happen, and you couldn't be on TV to talk about it.
That's right. Yeah. But we are talking about it on
the 206.
Yes, we are doing a lot of stuff like that on the kind of crazy political stuff that's happening in this area, and I can guarantee it's going to have a bit of a harder bite than Almost Live did on those specific
Where are
topics.
you on the Potsdam question of Seattle? Like they're talking now, where is the green light district going to be, and what's the are they going to carve out some areas like 1,000 feet from anything that you can't sell this stuff?
You'll have to go to Eastern Washington to get it. You will.
You think?
Yeah. There's no place that I think exists that is 1,000 feet from a school or a community center or what have you. You'll pretty much have to head.
You think it's going to be like apples? To get the good stuff, you got to go to some guy by the side of the road outside of Sela there with a little stand. And
yeah,
you get
but the
fresh
thing that annoys me, that the apple guys, the strawberry guys, all that, they never put the price up there. I would stop and buy, but they want a dicker, and I don't want a dicker on pot. Let's just tell me how much it is.
Right, yeah.
I think when it's a guy, they call it Dickum.
Interestingly, you don't really have to, because strangely, the new medical price is the same street price. And how did that happen? How did that happen? How did the price get exactly calibrated to what the street price was? How did that happen?
There needs to be generic pot.
Yeah,
isn't
cheaper
instead of the name brands.
Plain black and white wrappers.
It cannot be any more expensive than actual cigarettes, which I think like are $7 a pack.
Upwards of that.
How much is how is a middle school kid gonna be able to afford that? That's crazy.
Well, we got the highest minimum wage in the country. That's how.
Right.
Yeah.
I was actually
That's good to know.
I was doing an event a few weeks ago for the a dentists association, and I said, well, you guys can write prescriptions for pot. You don't need to really do the analgesic. You don't need to do the the nitrous anymore. I mean, you got and
would that be just as good?
Well, the thing was I was doing it as a joke, but all of a sudden the room got really quiet, and you just saw these people like look around like, wait a minute, wait a minute, and then I was told that there was a bathroom break, and I was at a table, and I was told that by a dentist, when I was in the bathroom, there was like 4 or 5 guys going like, how would we write that? How do we write that?
By the way, that's weird for me too, because in various social circles, it used to be like, remember Ralph Cramden? Remember, he'd always have a scheme, and I'm going to make money.
Plan.
I got a brilliant idea.
Right, it is.
What's going on now is the people who sort of wish they had a brilliant idea are all scheming. This is going to be $1 billion business. How do I get a piece of it?
Right.
And so the dentist, after you left, they're probably like, well, we should have a meeting.
Wait a minute.
Because if that happens, we wouldn't want to miss out.
Yeah, right. No, you really could see the wheels turning,
I'd be great because I don't use it. Mm-hmm. Because in the past, I'd be terrible because it would never weigh full.
Well, if the dentists selling pot brownies, they can make double money cleaning that crap off their teeth too.
Perfect.
So, I mean,
so it's a win. It's a win-win situation. Is what
are you guys excited at the possible return of a basketball team that will be renamed the Sonics?
Oh yeah, you bet.
Sure.
We talk about that in these coming shows. In fact, a little bit. We would love for that to occur, because frankly, we aren't that good at basketball ourselves. We have had a team but nobody's been coming.
The almost alive team?
You've been out there playing, huh?
Yeah, I'm power forward. And look at me. I mean, how much power could there be?
No, on the taping of the show the other day, I fell down. I'm 57 years old, and I was trying to. We're like, hey, running around like we're young people, and I tripped, and there's this certain point when you're this age, and you go, I'm falling, and it's like it's terrifying, and everybody thought I was doing a joke, but I'm laid out, and everybody's like, oh my, and to play basketball, no. As a matter of fact, some friends of mine organized a kickball league. One of these ironic things like, hey, we're going to play kickball. You want to play kickball with us?
I remember kickball as a kid. It was totally fun. Yeah.
Right, exactly. It's the same thing. So a bunch of people organize this league. They have their first game, and 3 people go to the hospital.
Oh, no.
I tore a rotator cuff playing kickball 3 years ago. Those leagues are vicious.
Yeah.
Kids today don't play kickball. I mean, I remember we were kids. We would play in my neighborhood. And we play on the street, of course.
Yeah.
And the deal was your parents would come out and they'd lift up their hands and I go, make sure you move when a car is coming. Today, they wouldn't, let you play on the street, I imagine, because it would be dangerous. But
you stand that car down, young man.
Yeah,
Show who's boss.
Right.
But we would play until it was well after dark.
Right. And then your dad would come out and go, come on. And you'd say, Dad, one more set of downs, and then today it's like I'm a dad and I yell down to the rec room and come on, it's dinner. And they're like, wait, we haven't robbed the hooker. We haven't driven we haven't driven the car over the line of nuns. And it's like
that's what they're doing.
Yeah. They're playing grand theft, whatever. And it's like, our culture is so
now you both have
improved.
kids, right? You have a son who's all grown up who's producing the show. Do you have grandchildren yet?
Yeah.
How many?
See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 17.
Come on. Come on.
2.
You know what? You would be the greatest grandfather.
Just 2.
You'd
Yeah.
be the greatest. You don't pull your teeth out yet, but my grandfather used to do that.
I do pull my teeth out, and they're actually my teeth, which is
Bloody mess.
is really
That's a bloody mess.
Terrifying.
No, but you know what I mean. Like,
Horrible.
when you get older, I hope you have false teeth because you'll be so funny. But
But it's so funny. I don't think of myself as a grandfather, and yet I watch these little kids looking at me like an alien, and I think, I'm not an alien yet. Come on, I mean, but they.
Well, I don't know about that.
Kids see you. There's that old guy, and you're like, well, no, I'm not the old guy yet, but keep the thought, but I'm not that yet.
Yeah, I'm on my way there. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
No, really.
What do you do with your grandchildren?
I like to read them stories. It's funny. I like to do goofy voices and stuff, but when I do, they're kind of creeped out.
Yeah.
These particular kids, at least.
Do they know how lucky they are?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who's that? That doesn't sound like you.
Huh.
Mommy. So
Yeah.
I got to remember not to be too out there with them. I got to try and remain as normal as I can.
How about John? How about you, John?
Well, I don't have grandchildren, but when my kids were really young, I'd be like, you got to come in and do I'd come into a studio like this because I had to cut a commercial, and just guys, come in here and just sit down and be quiet, and then I'd do something for the American Cancer Society or something like that, and tag it with some funny line. Then we'd be back in the car, and they'd like, you made us wait for all this, and I was like, well, look, that's what I do. Okay, that's what I do.
You like your bike?
I'm funny.
Yeah.
And then they'd go, you're not funny. And I go, well, you were at the show last week. Didn't you see all those people laughing? They're like, well, you're funny for old people.
Ooh.
My son Chris, famous line we always say it in our family is that one time he and my daughter were arguing about something, and she said to him, "You're not funny. Only Dad is funny."
That's nice. John, you teach kids at Art Institute, right? Did I read that?
Well, yes,
or you're there, but
I'm
whether
there.
they learn anything or not.
Yes, that's true.
When they're not outside smoking.
Yeah, when they're.
All right, guys. Well, all the best. The 206. We'll get the correct schedule posted
Yes.
and
I'm
tweeted.
sorry. I shouldn't have called you. You're probably right, but
I don't know.
It's not on Sundays.
It's not on Sunday, so you were correct.
Yes,
all the
check
correct
com-
information will
check
be
com
posted at
Sunday
bobrivers.com. Pat Cashman and John Keister, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes,
back
but-
on King 5.
And also, could I just plug? I'm going to be in Olympia on Saturday. If you want to come out, all of you people in Olympia.
At the old brewery or what?
No, I'm going to be at the Washington State Center for the Performing Arts in Olympia this weekend.
Who knew?
Doing a stand-up show?
Yes,
Right.
yes, with Almost Live alumni Brooks Macbeth. We're gonna be there, and it's gonna be a big fun. So come out, Olympia people.
Pat and John always.
Jay Ensley's going to do a set too.
Yes, yes.
That's his term. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, good to see you, Pat and John. When we come back, tickets for a very popular concert series at Woodland Park go on sale this morning. We'll tell you about that, and a little advanced clip of Beyonce's new song.